Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Yes, Isha, we are. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear? Praise the Most High Yahweh. Thank you, Bathaman, for that beautiful, beautiful music. It is definitely inspiring, and that's why I wanted you to continue to play it. And I praise Yah for what he has done. Your gift is definitely among many. You have many gifts, but one of your gifts, Bathaman, is to basically choose music, proper music, and we praise the Most High, which is why the Most High has ordained you to do that for us, and we praise Yah for it. We are going to be continuing our study in Zechariah. We started Zechariah chapter 1 last night. We're going to continue today. But before we do, we want to ask our creator, Yah, who we call Yah, whose name Yah is short for Yahweh, which means Yah exists. Yah exists, Yahweh. And his son, which is his grace Messiah, who is YHWH, which means Yah exists to save. Praise the Most High Yah. We're going to be going into that today. But before we do, let us seek the Father of all of us, the creator of all things, the only one true God, that is the God of the whole earth. And he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he is our God. And so let us seek his face this morning, that we can receive of his spirit as we go into his word today. Let us pray for that as we get ready to go into his word. Most High Yahweh, in the name of his grace, your grace, Messiah, YHWH, we call on your name, and we are very privileged and honored indeed to be able to call upon you in spirit and in truth. And we ask today that in spite of ourselves, in spite of our shortcomings, in spite of our sins, that through Messiah's perfect righteousness, you would bless us today as we go into your word for the purpose of uplifting and honoring and glorifying your holy name. Bless all of us today with your spirit and guide us as we know the time is at hand for the return of Messiah, and we seek readiness and righteousness for your name's sake. Amen. Praise the Most High Yah. Again, thank you for the music. Praise Yah. Again, as we're getting started, I want to make sure everybody is aware. We have Periscope on, Periscope under Gabar Sadak. We have Twitter is on under Raw Hebrew Remnant. We have also Twitch TV, also under Raw Hebrew Remnant. We're on Pal Talk, actually in the Christian, as weird as it is, we're in the Christianity section under YHWH, Yah exists to save. We're in Hangouts also. And so we're in all of these platforms at once. Praise Yah for it. So let's get started into the word. Now, before we do that, we're going to read our 3 scriptures that we normally read. Praise the Most High Yah. Isha will pre-posting the scriptures. We generally read 3 scriptures on Sabbath that remind us as to who we are, why we are, okay, who we are and why we are, and what we are doing today. In first scripture regarding this is Exodus. Oh, not only who we are and why we are, but where we are going. Praise the Most High Yah. So Exodus chapter 31. Exodus chapter 31, straight truth from the word of the Most High. Exodus chapter 31 from verse 12 to 18. Exodus chapter 31 from verse 12 to verse 18. Thank you, Isha. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am Yahweh that doth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you. Every one that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest, holy to Yahweh. Whosoever doth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communing with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High Yah. Praise the Most High. That was Exodus chapter 31, verses 12 through 18. And now we turn to the book of the law. These be the words of the book of the law, Deuteronomy chapter 30, and we'll be reading from verses 1 through 10 of Deuteronomy chapter 30 of the book of the law, and the chapter that we like to call the chapter of the awakening, one of many chapters of the awakening in the scriptures. This is just one witness of the awakening, which we are now undertaking. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verses 1 through 10. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh thy Most High have driven thee, and shalt return unto Yahweh thy Most High, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy Most High will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither Yahweh thy Most High have scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy Most High gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And Yahweh thy Most High will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh thy Most High will circumcise thy heart and the heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy Most High with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy Most High will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of Yahweh, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. And Yahweh thy Most High will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for good. For Yahweh will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Most High, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law, and if thou shalt turn unto Yahweh thy Most High with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Praise the Most High Yah. That is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verses 1 through 10. Last but not least, we saw why we are here. We saw where we are right now, and now where we are going. Revelation chapter 11, the sixth seal of Revelation 11, which turns into the seventh seal. And we're now going to read this. I'm sorry, not the seventh seal, the seventh trumpet, the seventh trumpet. The sixth trumpet is Revelation chapter 11. And at the end of Revelation chapter 11, the seventh trumpet. We are now in the sixth trumpet. Let me be clear. We are now in the sixth trumpet. And we are about to embark on the seventh trumpet. And so we are reading about where we are about to go. Praise the Most High Yah. And what's about to happen. Praise the Most High Yah. Revelation chapter 11, verses 15 to 19. Revelation chapter 11, verses 15 to 19. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Yah and of his Messiah, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped Yahweh, saying, we give thee thanks, O Yahweh Allah Shaddai, which art and wast and art to come, because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned, and the nations were angry. And thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And the temple of Yahweh was opened in heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. Praise the Most High Yahweh. We're about to enter into that time. We are in the sixth trumpet right now. We're going to talk more about the sixth trumpet in a moment, because it has to do with Zechariah. You see, we praise the Most High Yah, brothers and sisters, because the holy prophets of our God, the only true God, the one creator of heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, his name is Yah. And we praise him because his prophets all agree. And his prophets not only agree, but they give us insights, which, listen carefully, brothers and sisters, they give us insights. Listen now, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. I want to make sure you can hear me. The prophets of Yah give us insights, listen now, which no other people on planet Earth have. I want to repeat that. I know people don't want to hear that. Some people are going to be angry at that. But I got to speak the truth as the Spirit of the Creator has given to me to speak the truth. And I want to tell you this again. The prophets of Yahweh, the only true God, he himself says about himself, there is no other God. I know not any. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which we have read in his word. And he said, only you, Israelites, have I chosen among all the peoples of the earth. I have only shown myself to you. That God says. And what his prophets are showing us gives us insights which no other people on the planet have. Okay? There's no other people. There's no Asian people. There's no Indian people. There's no European people. There's no African people. There's no other people on the earth that's been given what the Israelite people have been given. And let me tell you something. Wait a minute. Let me show you something. Amos. We read this last night. Amos chapter 3. Let's look at it again. Amos chapter 3. Amos chapter 3. I'm going to show you something. From verse 1 down to verse 7. Very deep, powerful. Notice what it says. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only, notice now, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he hath no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den when he hath taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare upon the earth and have taken nothing? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahweh have not done it? Surely the Most High Yahweh will do nothing. Watch now. But he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Brothers and sisters, there is no Gentile on this planet earth. I don't care how sincere they be, that's going to receive anything of the Most High Yahweh, except it first come to his servants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because that's how he ordained it to be. It's not my ordination. It's not my choice. That's what he chose. Now, I know people don't want to hear this, but you know, brothers and sisters, listen, We're living at a time in Earth's history where this is about to be wrapped up. We just read the seventh seal. This thing is about to be wrapped up. Messiah is about to come with vengeance and violence. You see, brothers and sisters, people think that Messiah is some Caucasian man, some soft, flowery Caucasian man that's going to come back in peace. I want to give you another story. He's about to come back with power. Let me see if I can turn it up for you, sister. Let me see if I can turn it up. I got it at 94. I don't think I could turn it up any higher. Let me see if I could turn it up any. No, I don't think I could turn it up any higher. I don't think I could turn it up any higher. Can y'all hear me clearly? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear? I'm not sure I could turn it up any higher. Let me just see if I can. I'm trying to see if I can mess with it a little bit. If I could get it up higher for you. I'm not sure. I'm going to try my best here. But I think it's about as high as I could get it. I think it's about as high as I could get it. I'm just making sure here. Let me just double check. Make sure. I think that's about as high as I could get it, Isha. I think it's about as high as I could get it, Akath. My apologies if it's too low. Because I do want y'all to hear. So I want to tell you something. This is the thing we need to understand. We read this in Deuteronomy 32 the other day, right? I just want to review that real quick. We're getting ready to go into a lot of scriptures today, brothers and sisters, just like we did. Zechariah is a very deep prophetic book. It is no question. It is a book not only for the time of our brothers and sisters and our fathers from the past. It is our time. It's our time. And I want to show you, we read the other day in Deuteronomy 32, verse 4. Notice what it said, verse 3 and 4. I will publish the name of Yahweh. Ascribe ye the greatness unto our Most High. He is the rock. His work is perfect. All his ways are judgment. A God of truth. Nothing without iniquity. Just and right is he. We're not playing. His will is going to come to pass. And listen. His will is going to come to pass, brothers and sisters. Let me just make this very plain for you. I'm not trying to play with y'all. I'm not trying to hide stuff from y'all. Listen, I don't desire no man's silver, no man's gold, no man's dead presidents. Y'all know that. I don't care about that. Listen, if I die on this earth, I can guarantee you one thing. I can guarantee you this. Listen, if I die on this earth before the return of the Messiah, I'm going to die poor. I'm not worried about that. You hear what I'm saying? If I die on this earth before the return of the Messiah, if he puts me to sleep, I'm going to be poor. And I have no problem with that. You know why? Because listen, unlike other people, I don't want my reward on this earth. Let others get their reward on this earth. Let them say, I want mine now. Go take it now, if that's what you want. Nah, brothers and sisters, I want my treasure in the kingdom of Messiah, where righteousness will reign. There'll be no more hungry. There'll be no more sick people. There'll be no more death. There'll be no more people that are in want. There'll be no more people that are crying inside because of the pain they're in. There'll be no more murder. There'll be no more sexual perversion. There'll be no more sodomy. There'll be no more ugly and evil and sin and nastiness. There'll be no more any of that. There'll be eternal joy and righteousness. And brothers and sisters, listen to me. I want mine there. I'm not playing with y'all. I want mine there. I'll forsake everything on this earth. Take the dead presidents. Take it. Take what you want, because I'm not worried about this earth. And I don't fear nothing. I'm not just talking online. Any of y'all that met me know, y'all met me, can bear witness. I'm not playing with y'all. I don't care. You can put a gun in my head. I don't care what you do. You understand? Kill my children. Do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And I know they listening to me. They listening. Listen closely, because there's nothing you could do. You understand? Because of the Spirit of the Father, we praise him. Notice what it says, Isaiah chapter 55. Isaiah chapter 55. Isaiah 55. Notice what it says, Isaiah 55. Watch this now. Watch closely now. We getting ready to do Zechariah, but I gotta give you the warm up. You know me. I gotta give you the warm up. Isaiah chapter 55. I'm not playing. This ain't no time to play. Let people play with religion. It ain't time for that for me. Okay. Watch Isaiah 55 from verse 8. From verse 8 down to verse 11. Isaiah 55 verses 8 through 11. Notice what it says. Isaiah 55, verses 8 through 11. Y'all want the truth, don't you? I'm not talking to nobody that don't want truth. If you want to argue and complain and debate about theology, get the heck out of here. We're not dealing with that. Keep it moving. We're dealing with truth now. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and making it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Watch now. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish the thing which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. His word is going to come to pass. He's going to have a chosen people on the earth. The awakening has already begun according to his word. Brothers and sisters, it's not according to us. It's according to him. The only question is what side we going to be on. That's our only choice, because his word is going to come to pass. It's not going to be stopped. It doesn't matter what Rome does. I don't care what the president does. I don't care how much armaments they have, how many secret people they got, how many secret societies they got. I don't care what their plans are. I don't care what the Pope cares about. That doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is what the word of the Most High says. And he has given us this word. You think it's coincidental that we got this Bible in these last days? It's not coincidental. There's no such thing as coincidence with the Creator. When he set the earth in motion. See, this is what people don't understand. I was studying this today. You know, people sometimes get confused, brothers and sisters, and praise Yah. One of the things that we are learning is to unlearn stuff, right? I mean, I know that sounds funny, right? But you know what I'm saying. We are unlearning things. We are learning things and unlearning things. This is one of the hallmarks of the awakening. We have been brainwashed for hundreds of years. Our fathers turned away from the truth. So now, because of that, the Most High is unlearning stuff from us, and we're learning stuff. Isn't that right? So listen, one of the things people are confused about, like in Genesis 1, where he said, let there be light on the first day, and there was light, right? Check it out. He said, let there be light, and there was light, right? He said, let there be light. And then on the third day, it said he set up the sun and the moon. People get confused. Well, if there's light in the first day, where the sun and the moon come in? See, what people don't understand, brothers and sisters, people don't understand, right? People are so ready to doubt the Creator. And that's their business. You know, people can doubt the Creator if they want to. That's their business. I know that's a dumb move right there. That's a dumb move to doubt the Creator. That's a dumb move. But let people do what they want to do. Me, I don't doubt it. So when he said, let there be light, let me explain to some fools what that means. Okay? First of all, the Bible says Yah is light. And in him is no darkness at all. So when he announced, let there be light, you know what he was announcing, right? I'm here. That's what he was saying. I'm here. Let there be light. I'm here. And the earth was, the Bible says, it was out without form and void. It was sitting out there. He just set it out there. It was nothing but water, but a round ball of water. And he set it out there. Let me explain to the ignorant that want to question the Creator. He said, let there be light. What is he saying? I'm here. Boom. And it was sitting out there. And then it says the evening and the morning were the first day because he was there. Okay? Then the second day he said, let the dry land appear. Boom. There it was. Come up out the water, just like he speaks it into existence. Then the third day he said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to set a permanent light out here for this planet that I built. Here's the light, the sun, boom. I'm going to set moon, boom. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to set it now. I'm going to set it in motion. And what I'm going to do when I set it in motion, I'm going to set it for months and for days and for weeks and for years. So you can see by the phases of the moon what the years are, what the seasons are. I'm going to set it in motion. Boom, that's the third day. Y'all got it? For all them fools out there that don't understand, think the Most High Creator, that he contradicts himself. He don't contradict himself. You need to ask an Israelite, because Israelites don't doubt him. Israelites know who he is. Y'all heathen doubt him. We don't doubt him. Praise the Most High Yah. And his word is going to come to pass. There's nothing the Creator has said in his word that's not going to come to pass. He's going to have a chosen people. He's awakening us right now. And brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter how much money we have. Matter of fact, it's totally not about, it's opposite of the money. It's not even about the money. It don't matter how much television exposure we got. Matter of fact, the revolution, one thing the brother said in the 60s that was true. Listen, the revolution will not be televised. And brothers and sisters, we about to see not just a government overthrow of Babylon, we about to see the worldwide overthrow of this whole cotton picking system. You hear me? We about to see the whole worldwide overthrow. Messiah is about to come and overthrow these kingdoms. We just read it, Revelation chapter 11. The kingdom of this world will become the kingdom of Messiah and Yahweh, right? Isn't that what it said? He's going to overthrow this whole thing. See, and all they guns, all they bombs, all they planes, all they technology is not going to help them. It's not going to help them. That's why I looked at him. I'm not, I live peaceably. We want to live peaceably with all men. We do. We want to live peaceably. We're not trying to argue with nobody. But we can't but speak the truth. We serve a creator that understands that his will is perfect righteousness and this earth is not perfect righteousness. That the people of this earth are run by Asatan and all he's interested in doing is destroying the earth and ruling for his own sake. See, that's the difference, brothers and sisters. In this world in which we live, you tell me if I'm lying to you. You tell me if I'm lying to you. In this world in which we live, every man goes for self. Am I lying to you or am I not? In this world in which we live, every man goes for self. That's how this works. That's how this world operates. When you get yours, everybody's happy for you. But if you get too much, they scheming on you. Right? Am I lying to you? You know I'm telling the truth. See, in the creator's kingdom, everybody shares everything. Those that prosper a lot give to those that don't have as much. And nobody is wanting in the creator's system. You see, brothers and sisters, there's nobody wanting in the creator's system. Everybody is completely satisfied. They that gather much didn't have any, they that gathered little didn't have any left over, didn't have no lack, and they that gathered much didn't have no left over. We all share in the created system. Because why? Because that is the representation of perfect righteousness. Okay? See, you could call yourself an Islam and believe in Allah. You could call yourself a Muslim. You could call yourself a Mormon, a Jehovah's Witness, a SDA. Listen, when you are seeking the glory of the Creator alone, you will come to the understanding that we have come to. All of these things are worthless and dumb. Apostle Paul said he was the tribe of Benjamin, an Israelite. And he was a Pharisee, and he said he counted it but dung that he may win Messiah. Why? Because Messiah is the representation of the Father's righteousness. And let us begin our study with that right today. Let's look at Galatians. I need to give y'all some basics. I always try to give y'all, I try to give you the background and I try to give you the basics as the Creator has shown me to do. This is not my will, it's his will. And if there's a mistake come out of my mouth, it's me. I want to tell you right up front. If there's a mistake come out of my mouth, it's me. But if it's righteousness, it's him. Okay? If it's righteousness, it's him. I'm just telling you straight up. So look at Philippians chapter 3. Watch this. I'm about to break this down for you because, brothers and sisters, we need to understand what the faith of Messiah means. This is the key to everything, It is the key to overcoming sin. It is the key to having a strong love for your Creator. And if you see, brothers and sisters, you can't really have a love for your Creator unless you have his Spirit upon you. And when his Spirit comes upon you, you will have a love for everybody. That's what the Spirit of the Creator does for us. It causes us to have a love for everybody. You understand? We don't despise people. We despise oppression. We despise hatred. We despise unfairness. We despise unrighteousness. We despise sin. That's what it is. Yeah, we despise sin. Like, I like to bring up the homosexual when I talk about this because it's not like we hate the homosexual, right? We don't hate the homosexual. We hate sodomy. Testing 1, 2, 3. We hate sodomy. We hate sexual perversion. Understand? We hate sexual perversion. Okay. It's not the homosexual. We love the homosexual. The homosexual should become a eunuch. The lesbian, the homosexual, all them people that want to change their sex and all that foolishness. When you come to your mind, when your mind get back to symmetry of the rightness of the Most High, you understand better for you not to cut your penis off. Better for you not to put your penis in somebody else's anus. Better for you women not to lick up on another woman. Better for you to be on your own and be pure in the spirit of righteousness. We're not asking you to do what's against your nature. If your nature, if you born with a crooked nature, hey, that's not your fault. It is what it is. This earth is full of sin. All right? Praise the Most High Yah. Philippians chapter 3. Notice this now. Philippians chapter 3. I want to show you something. Philippians chapter 3. We're talking about Zechariah today. I'm just getting you all warmed up. Philippians chapter 3. Paul's getting ready to explain himself about who he is. Okay? Let's start at verse 1. And I'm going to go from verse 1. I'm going to go from verse 1 down to verse 9, which is the key point of this thing. From verse 1 to verse 9. Watch when it talks about righteousness. Watch closely now. Watch closely, because this is the point. Finally, my brethren, rejoice in the Master. To write the same things to you, to me, is indeed not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs. Beware of evil workers. Beware of the concision. For we are the circumcision which worship Yahweh in the spirit and rejoice in Messiah YHWH and have no confidence in the flesh. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he hath whereof that he might trust in the flesh, I more. Circumcised the 8th day of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee, concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. But what things were gained to me, I counted loss for Messiah. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Messiah YHWH, my master, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I might win Messiah and be found in him. Not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Messiah, the righteousness which is of Yahweh by faith. That's the faith of Messiah. It's the righteousness of the Father. I want to make sure y'all get that. Very important. The righteousness of the Father is Messiah's faith. I need y'all to hear that. Because people say, you departed from the faith, or you heard this saying, or you have fallen out the faith, or you've lost the faith. Well, what faith they talking about? Most people don't understand what they talk about. Most people think they're talking about faith in Christianity or faith in Jesus. But know what it is. It's the faith of Messiah, which is the righteousness of the Father, which the righteousness of the Father is given to us in the form of the Father's Spirit. Yes. So brothers and sisters, my skin could be black as coal. I could be a total bloodline straight from Abraham. And I could be a devil. I could be a devil. A lot of them out there. Or I can be pale as Caucasian come. I could be so pale the sun can't look at me without hurting me. And I could be so sincere in the spirit of the Father. To serve him, to love him. That's why he said he don't put confidence in the flesh. Now, I want to make sure we differentiate. That is not saying that Abraham's not going to have a bloodline seed. That's not saying that. But what it is saying is don't put your confidence in that. Put your confidence in righteousness, in the spirit of righteousness. You understand? Put your confidence in that. We've already studied. Messiah came for the Israelite people. And he also came for the Israelite people that he might cause Gentiles to what? To rejoice with his people. Isn't that what we saw? We read that. Romans, we saw it. Okay. And so Paul continually is trying to help the Gentiles understand you are accepted in the Hebrew Messiah. You're accepted in the Father's righteousness through the Hebrew Messiah. The economy is Hebrew. The economy is Israelite. But y'all need to understand, as you receive that, you're accepted. The problem today, as we know, is too many of the Gentiles trying to act like they running this thing. That's the problem. They got pride. They got too much pride. The Gentiles got too much pride. They think they need to lead and teach the Israelites. That's what the problem is. You get a Gentile involved in this movement and they start to think, oh, I got to teach y'all what to do because y'all don't know. Y'all too dumb. See, that's what they think. And why? Because their minds are naturally carnal. I'm just trying to be real with you. The Gentile mind is naturally carnal. Naturally carnal. See? But we need to understand this is not about a carnal movement. This is a spiritual movement. It's not because we desire this movement. It's because the Father's Spirit places it in our hearts. It's the Father's will that's being done. It's not our desire. It's the Father's will that's being done. It's His Spirit that's moving, that's causing us to awaken. It's His Spirit that's bringing forth the teachers. And we're going to talk about that. Haggai, Zechariah, YHWH, or Joshua. We're going to talk about that. It's His Spirit that brought that movement forth, and His Spirit that's bringing this movement forth. Now, last night we studied some Daniel. Remember? We looked at some Daniel before we went to Zechariah. Let's go back to Daniel chapter 9 for a moment, because people get caught up. And this is what I want to say, brothers and sisters. One of many things. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. Please bear with me. We're going to go through a lot of scripture. And again, I do this, and that's why I praise y'all. We put the word through the grace of y'all on many platforms. Now, I want to tell you something. It's not going to forever be like this. Pretty soon, they're going to cut me off. They're going to do it. So I want you to just take an opportunity now to pray and fast as much as you can over the word. Learn the word for yourself, because I'm not always going to be here. Okay? I'm just telling you. And there's a lot of false teachers out here. Lots of them. Okay? So y'all got to be, you got to be diligent to study your word and pray to your Father yourself so He can show you and He can bear witness to you that the truth, and you'll be safe. You'll be safe. If you stay with the Father and you stay with His word through His grace, Messiah, that Spirit that the Father is sending through Messiah, let that Spirit come upon you. Let it go. And listen, brothers and sisters, if you allow the Spirit of the Father to guide your steps, listen, you are 100% guaranteed safe. You hear me? You want to guarantee you're going to be safe? That's your guarantee right there. That's it. Put all your trust in your Father. Don't listen to man. Don't get scared by man. Look at the word. Look at the Father. Look at His Spirit. You are guaranteed safe, but you got to hang on. You got to hang on yourself. That's your job, you see. That's your job. Don't let the devil cause you to get shaken off of the truth. You understand? Don't let the devil cause you to shake off of that truth, that the Father is just, that the Father is righteous, that the Father is perfect, that all His ways are truth, and that there's no such thing as coincidence with Him, and that 100% of the time His word is going to come to pass. Don't let the devil take you off of that faith, okay? I'm just telling you. But right now, it's on Periscope, it's on Twitter, it's on YouTube, it's on platforms, it's on Hangouts, it's on, it's out here. Because the day's going to come when it's not going to be out here. And you're going to have to depend on what you yourself have received from the Father. You're going to have to depend on that. It's coming, brothers and sisters. Right now, He has raised me up. He has raised other teachers up on YouTube and other platforms. Y'all listening to some of them. There's some faithful brothers out here amidst all of the deceivers. There's some faithful brothers out here. And you guys know it bears witness with your spirit. You know. And so, but pretty soon, brothers and sisters, we're going to be scattered. We're not going to be on these electronic platforms. It's going to be on the street level. And you're going to have to depend on the food that you have gathered. The manna that you have received, you're going to have to depend on that. And what we're doing right now, all this is about is preparation. We coming down the stretch, man. We coming down the stretch. Ain't that many more years left? Really, there's not. And I'm not telling you this to worry you. I'm telling you this to inform you of how important this is. That's all I'm saying. How important this is, that you learn to trust the Father. Because all He wants, really, all He wants is a sincere and willing heart. That's all he wants. He'll do all the work. This is the Father's stuff. You understand? This is not about you and me. This is not about how good we can finish it. No, no, no. We just read in Isaiah 55. His word is not going to return void. It's going to accomplish the thing which he pleases. It's going to not only accomplish it, what he said, it's going to prosper in the thing whereto he sent it. That's all he needs. He needs a willing and sincere heart. You're going to be a genius in this word. You think I'm lying to you? I'm not lying to you. All you need to do is be willing and sincere. And all of a sudden, somebody going to call you into the police station. Listen to me now. They're going to call you in the police station. They're going to say, Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, we heard that you believe such and such, and you've been spreading these fallacious errors. You've been spreading these things that are going to cause sedition, and they're going against our government. And you know, right now, you don't know what to say, and that's very good. You don't know what to say. You know why? Because at that moment, praise Yah, the angel of Yah is going to put his Father's spirit on you, and all of a sudden, words are going to come out your mouth. And when them words come out your mouth, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised. You yourself are going to be surprised. And the people that hear you are going to be blown away. You hear what I'm saying? The people that hear you are going to be like, what? We never heard that person speak like that. We thought that person was scared. We thought that person was weak. Where did they get these words from? They're not going to understand because they don't know your Father. They don't know your Messiah. See, I'm just telling you that because I'm just trying to comfort you for you to understand. Just have a sincere and willing heart. Eat up this word. Review it for yourself, brothers and sisters. And you know, the Bible said when a man comes representing the one that sent him, you know the same is true. Messiah said, when one comes not representing himself, Messiah said, if I came representing myself, my word would not be true. He said, but he that cometh representing the one who sent him, the same is true, and there's no unrighteousness in it. And that's the truth. You understand? That's the truth. I have frailties just like y'all. I'm no different than y'all. I can't explain to y'all why the Father has called me to teach this word. I don't know, but I know he has. That's all I know. He has. I can't. If I was to say other, I'd be lying. He has totally called me to teach this truth. He has totally called me to do that. And I'm just getting you all prepared. That's my job. That's my job. Getting you all ready. That's my job. To the glory of the Father. Daniel. Let's look back now. Daniel chapter 9, what we studied last night. A lot of people get confused. And the reason people get confused is because of the time, right? Well, you'll see what I say. And look at what it says. Daniel, we read last night. Daniel chapter 9, right? Let's look at Daniel chapter 9. Verse 27 real quick. Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. Daniel 9:27. Notice what it says. And this is talking about Messiah and his ministry. Daniel 9:27. Notice what it says. Daniel 9:27. And he, talking about Messiah, shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause sacrifice and oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation. And that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Now, this is confusing a lot of people. And the reason it does is this, brothers and sisters. Listen carefully. 7 is a perfect number, right? Testing 1, 2, 3. 7 is the perfect number. Everybody knows that. 7 is the number of completion, okay? But what the Most High, listen carefully now, I'm going to show you this in the word. What the Most High likes to do is he likes to use 3.5. He breaks it up into 3.5 often. And because he does that, sometimes it confuses people. I'm not that he's a confusing God. He's not. But Asatan uses that to confuse people. Okay? So the Messiah came in AD 27. And for 3.5 years, he preached the word to the Israelites himself. For 3.5 years. He was crucified at the end of 3.5 years. He rose again, okay, on the 3rd day. And then for 40 days, okay, let me step back for a second. Let me break this step by step. He was the Passover. he was crucified on the 14th day of the first month at even. Okay? On the first day of the week after the Sabbath, he was the wave offering. He rose from the dead. Let me break this down for you. Okay? He rose from the dead. And it wasn't just him. He rose from the dead with a bunch of people that represented the wave offering, the first fruits of the harvest to come. Okay? 40 days, he showed himself to his disciples, 40 being a time of testing. Moses was 40 years old when he was sent into the wilderness. It was 40 years that the children of Israel went through the wilderness on their way to the promised land. Messiah and Moses and Elijah fasted for 40 days. Okay? 40 is a time of testing. So for 40 days, Messiah met with the disciples after his death and after his resurrection. And in fact, Yachanan, the prophet, said that he showed them so many things that the world could not even contain all the books that would be written of the things that he showed them during that 40-day period. He showed them a lot of things. Now, it's not for us, listen, it's not for us to speculate about what he showed them. The things that are revealed belong to us. The things that are not revealed belong to the Most High. Okay? We don't have to worry about what he showed them, but he definitely showed them things over the 40-year period. Okay? 40 days, excuse me. Now, after 40 days, they asked him a question. They did. They asked him a question at the end of 40 days. They said, Master, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? That was the question. He said, they said to him, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? He didn't say no. What did he say? He said to them, it is not for you, my disciples, to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath in his own power. In other words, the kingdom is going to be restored, but it's not for you to know that right now in terms of when. The kingdom is going to be restored to Israel, but it's not for you to know when. But then he said to them, but tarry at Jerusalem. He said, ye, my disciples, you're going to receive power. He said, you're going to receive power when the set apart spirit comes upon you. And then when you receive the power, you're going to be witnesses unto me. You're going to be witnesses unto me in Jerusalem and in Judea and in Samaria and to the uttermost parts of the earth. You're going to be witnesses unto me. You're going to bear witness of my faith. We're going to talk more about that. You're going to bear witness of my faith. So then 10 days after he left them, that was 40 days he was with them. 10 days later, on the day of Pentecost, which is 50. Penti means 50. On the 50th day. Why was that? Because it was 10 days later that he arrived to the Father gates of the kingdom in the third heaven. It was 10 days later the Father poured out his spirit, the early rain, to the disciples, the early rain. And they received that power to be witnesses. Okay? All of that according to prophecy. And so 3.5 years went by at that time. And for 3.5 years, the disciples with that power given to them from the Father through his grace, Messiah, bore witness of the truth and of the covenant, of the truth of the covenant to the Israelite people. Okay? To the Israelite people. At the end of that 3.5 year period, Stephen, an Israelite Hebrew, was stoned by his Hebrew brothers. And there was a young man there that was with it. He was down with killing and murdering this witness for Messiah and the Father. His name was Saul or Shaul. He was there. And they killed Stephen. And when Stephen was dying, Stephen looked up in the sky. And this is no just empty words when he said, behold, I see Messiah standing at the right hand of the Father. Messiah was standing up. Messiah was supposed to be sitting down at the right hand of the Father, but he was standing up because that stoning represented the end of that last 3.5-year period, which was the end of that last 7-year period, which was the end of that 490-year period, which is the end of that 70-week period that Gabriel had talked to Daniel about. Okay? And at that moment, Most High was going to bring his word to pass where he said, I'm going to provoke you to jealousy by a people that are no people. And at that moment, he began at that time to begin the process of giving this message of the true Hebrew Messiah to the Gentiles. So he sent Peter, Kapha, to teach Cornelius. Then he sent Shaul, whose name was changed to Paul, to teach the Gentiles of what is now Turkey and Rome and Greece. He taught the Gentiles there. See, prior to that, the Israelites had scattered into all those places, but they were there to teach Israelites that had been scattered, not Gentiles. But now Paul was there to teach the Gentiles. And they received this word. And for about 4 generations, they were faithful, but then they turned the truth of Yah into a lie, and they created Christianity. And that's where we are right now. Okay. So the 3.5-year period is what gets people confused. And it's not only that time. See, the 3.5-year period is used in more than one occasion. As a matter of fact, let's look at James chapter 5. James chapter 5. James chapter 5. Now, 3.5 years is 3 years, 6 months. Another way of saying it is 1,260 days. Another way of saying it is 42 months, because 42 months, a year is 12 months. 3 years is 36 months. 36 months from a half a year plus a half a year, right, is another 6 months. So that's 42 months. So whenever you hear 42 months, or you hear 3.5 years, or time and dividing a time, or 1,260 days, it's all that same 3.5-year period. Don't get confused, okay? I'm just letting y'all know. Okay, so here, notice James chapter 5 talking about Aliyah during the time when Aliyah walked up into Ahab's court and told him it was going to stop raining. They were going to have a drought. Notice the length of the drought. For James chapter 5, I'm going to begin at verse 17 and go down to verse 20. James chapter 5, especially verse 17. Watch this very closely. James chapter 5 from verse 17 to verse 20. Notice what it says. Aliyah was a man subject to like passions as we are, and he prayed earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth, by the space of 3 years and 6 months. There's 42 months. That's 3.5 years. That's a time times and dividing time. 1,260 days. Same 3.5 years. Okay? And he prayed again, and the heaven gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth and one convert him, let him know that he that converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death and hide a multitude of sins. You see, brothers and sisters, we praise Yah. When the Most High sends Messiah and we are covered in that righteousness, what does it do? It hides a multitude of sins. It hides a multitude of sins. That's life-changing right there. That's life-changing right there. Praise the Most High. That's life-changing. See, our problem, really, is we don't believe. We don't believe. That's what it is. The word is written very plainly. What our problem is, we don't want to believe it. When he says to you, I'm hiding your sin, why are you still worried about it? When he says to you, my spirit is going to guide you in truth, what you worried about it for then? What you worried about, money or where you live or what you worried about that? If he says to you, he's in control. I don't understand why people worry about these things. My concern is not having the Father's Spirit on me. That's my concern. I believe that's the focus for me anyway. And I admonish y'all. See, if the Father's Spirit is not guiding you, then you'll be like the Israelites that went up to Ai when they shouldn't have and got their behind beat, right? We went to Ai. He said, don't go up there. They went up there anyway. When he said, don't go back don't go fight with them in the promised land. I'm not with you. And they went. And they got destroyed. See, that's the only problem. When he told Moses, if you continue in my word, my presence shall go with you. See, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will what? I will fear no evil. Why don't I fear evil? For thou art with me. See, it don't matter where you are. It don't matter. If you are in his will and he's with you, nothing else matters. The problem is when he's trying to send you something, or when he's trying to talk to you, or when he's trying to guide your steps, and you letting your fear, your doubt, your unbelief stop you. That's the problem, see? That's the problem. If he's sending you back to a place that you wouldn't have normally, and that's generally what he'll do. He'll put you in a place where you wouldn't have chosen to go yourself. See, Jonah didn't choose to go to Nineveh. That wasn't his desire to go to Nineveh. And yet Yah sent him there. You understand? Yah sent him there. And Jonah, though he fought with the Most High Yah very vigorously, he ended up going because Yah had chosen him to go. So we want to take that as an example and understand we want to always do those things that please the Father. That's why Messiah is our example. He says, I do always those things that please him. Now, none of us can say that, but we want to be able to say that. We want to strive for that, right? We want to strive for that. We want to strive for that. Amen. So we want to strive so that we can say, Father, today I want to do always those things that please you. I know I didn't do it yesterday, but today, send your righteous spirit upon me that I might do always those things that please you. Praise God. You understand? And he will put you in situations to test your resolve in that regard. You think this is easy? Hell no. You think it's easy? You lying to yourself. He gonna put you, he gonna try you with pain on your body. He gonna try you with your relative. He gonna try you with people. He gonna try you. Oh, you want to do the things that please me? Here, let me give you this fire. Let me see if you can walk through this fire. Let me see if you can walk through this darkness. You know what Job said? I love what Job said. And we are in Job's position. Job said, by his light, I walk through darkness. That's what Job said. Job said, by his light, I walk through darkness. That what you want? We in darkness, we in this earth, man. This is Babylon. We're in an unrighteous world and an unrighteous system. That's where we are. There is no surprise to us that this system is unrighteous, that wickedness and oppressors rule. That's not surprising to us. But by his light, we walk through darkness. Praise God. I will fear no evil. I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Praise y'all. Y'all need to remember these things because y'all forget too easily. Am I lying? Y'all forget too daggone easily. Y'all forget. Life hits you and all of a sudden you forget everything daggone. You know I'm telling y'all the truth. You forget it all. Y'all need to remember this stuff, man. It's going to get you through many dark days. It's going to get you through many, many dark days. And I ain't got to explain to you for sure what a dark day feels like. Y'all been through many of them. I ain't got to explain that to you. You know what that's about. You've been through dark days, right? Days when you looking at the cliff of an abyss and you don't know if you're going to fall in or not. You know I'm telling you the truth. Well, look, praise Yah. Next time you get to that place, praise Yah. Because you know what? He is built to get you through. He is built to get you through. Amen. So Elijah prayed for a drought, and it was 3.5 years. Messiah had a ministry that lasted 3.5 years. And then when he was crucified, he sent forth his disciples to the nation of Israel for 3.5 years. So that's a time frame. You understand? We talk about the next Jubilee is 2027. That's the next Jubilee, brothers and sisters. And now we not in the land. But I want to tell you, we are going back to the land because in the 50th year in the Jubilee is when the Bible showed us right? It showed us in Leviticus 27 that that's when all land is restored in the 50th year. All land is restored on the 50th year. That's the Jubilee now. All debts are forgiven. All land is restored to the Israelite people. Praise the Most High Yah. That's the 50th year. See, heaven is marking it. We in our enemy's land. We're not in our land right now. It's all good though. Heaven is marking it. Praise Yah. Okay? Heaven is marking it. And we in the sixth trumpet right now. Look, Revelation chapter 11. We're in the sixth trumpet, and we are being prepared to bring forth this truth in sackcloth and ashes. What does that mean? That means, let me ask y'all remember the story of Esther, right? Not the story. I shouldn't say story because that would imply that it's fiction. It's not fiction. You remember the account of Esther when Esther was made queen, right? And her cousin Mordecai was there among the people, and they put out a death decree on the Israelite people. You remember that? They put out a death decree. Every man, woman, and child among them was to be destroyed, right? Well, what happened? Mordecai started crying and sighing in sackcloth and ashes. You remember that? And then he told Esther, you think you in a bad position being queen, huh? He said, perhaps you were only made queen for such a time as this, sister, my cousin, maybe you were just made queen for such a time as this. Don't think you're going to escape because you're sitting in the king's palace. You will be destroyed because I'm going to tell you what, he said, deliverance is going to arise for the children of Yah. The only question is it going to arise from you, cousin, or is it going to rise another way? Because it's going to rise. Okay? Well, the point I'm making is he was in sackcloth and ashes. Because why? Because a death decree was placed upon them. Well, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Let me tell you something. Let me break something down for you. Don't think that we're going to escape the death decree. We belong to the Messiah. Messiah was put to death, was he not? Messiah was put to death, was he not? So you know what? I want y'all to understand right now. You should understand right now. Don't be scared of death. Listen to me now. Pray for the Most High to take that fear from your heart. That you don't care, that it don't matter. Pray for the Most High to put that spirit in you, that it don't matter. It'll set you free. I'm telling you, fear of death, when you don't have it anymore, brothers and sisters, there's very few things that are freer than that. Very few things, man. They can come with machetes, and they might. They can come with M16s, or they can come with AK-47s to blow you to smithereens. It don't matter. Your God is able to bring you back. Flesh don't mean nothing. Spirit means everything. Flesh don't mean nothing. See, to the heathen, flesh is everything. To the devil, flesh is everything. You know what the devil's two, his two cornerstone. One of his cornerstone is, as we know, you can be a God. That's why he's trying to tell man on the earth, you could be a God on this earth. That's why everybody's being oppressed, everybody being crushed, everybody trying to go for theirs, because the devil's trying to tell everybody you could be a God. That's why he got all these entertainers out here getting Oscars and getting Grammys and stuff, and everybody bowing to them like they some sort of God. Everybody doing it. But they ain't no God. They're going to die like men. They're going to get old and die. See? That's what happened to them entertainers. You don't know? You ever notice that? They try to make comebacks because they thought they were gods when they were young and pretty, when they were young and beautiful, when they were young and could sing. They try to come back and be God. Rolling Stone, daggone near 70 years old, still trying to sing, trying to bring back what they ain't got no more. See? Because they get old and die because they not gods. You understand? They not gods. The devil done lied to them. That's number one. Second thing he says, what he tried, he actually, see, the devil got gonads, man. That boy got brass ones. You gotta have brass ones in order to sell a lie. You gotta have brass ones, man. You know what I'm saying? And he actually came to the Creator and he said, yea, skin for skin, all that a man hath, he will give for his life. Now that's true in his kingdom, but that is not true in the kingdom of Yah. I need y'all to understand. That is true in his kingdom. See, in his kingdom, man, people will beg, please don't kill me. Please. You know, some of these serial killers, man, they actually get sexually aroused when somebody begging for their life. Whenever, if you a sister and somebody snatch you and you know they getting ready to kill you, look, you need to show as much fearlessness as you can. You need to be as strong and as bold as possible. Because the more you say, please don't kill me, that's the more sure he about to cut you to pieces. You understand? I'm trying to be real with you. Don't ever show the devil fear. Don't ever show him fear. You hear me? He is strengthened by your fear. You understand? I'm trying to get y'all to be soldiers now. You hear what I'm saying? Don't ever show him fear. You say you gonna kill me, Negro, you go ahead and do it. I'm not worried about your death. You don't scare me. You hear me? Be real now. Yeah, because people are, please don't kill me. I have a daughter. Oh, I have family. Please don't kill me. Please help me go. Oh man, they getting excited and they getting ready. They really getting ready to get off on you now. See, I taught my children that. If somebody snatch you, put you in the trunk and put some drug in you, they're gonna have you begging. They're not letting you go. The more you beg, the more sure you're gonna be in their trap. The more bold you are. The more bold you are, the more strong you are, the more you don't worry about them, the weaker they become. You're not worried about them. You understand? But the devil knows skin for skin, all that the man have, he gives for his life. But you see, it's not like that in Yah's kingdom. It's not like that with the spirit of Yah. Because we are by the spirit. The Most High Spirit is such that, I need to just explain to you, the Most High Spirit is such that he can bring back from nothing that which he had before. It don't matter if they cremated you. It don't matter if you dust particles. Don't matter if they throw you in the sea. Don't matter if they bury you. Don't matter what they do to you. He could bring you back by his spirit. He could do that. Okay? He could do that. Revelation chapter 11. Notice the sackcloth and ashes now. Notice the 3.5 year period. Revelation chapter 11 from verse 1 down to verse 7. Revelation chapter 11 from verse 1 to 7. Notice what it says. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood saying, arise and measure the temple of Yahweh and the altar and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles that the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,203 days clothed in sackcloth. There it is. And these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks. We're about to read that in Zechariah, standing before the Yahweh of the whole earth. If any man will hurt them, fire proceeded out of their mouth and devoured their enemies. If any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth up out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them and shall overcome them and kill them. Listen, this is the 2 witnesses. The 2 witnesses are not Elijah and it's not Moses. The 2 witnesses are the 2 tables of the covenant. Somebody say, how do the 2 tables of the covenant bear witness? Let me tell you, fool. The 2 tables of the covenant bear witness to the character of the Creator. And the Creator's character is borne witness through his prophets by the spirit that actuates those 2 tables of the covenant. It's the same spirit. That's why Moses came down from the mountain with the 2 tables in his hand and his face was glowing, because it's the Father's spirit that's in those 2 tables, because they represented his character. And so we all that are going to be around at that time, we're going to prophesy with the 2 tables of the Spirit of the Father. We're going to bear witness of those 2 tables of righteousness to the earth in sackcloth and ashes. He said they're going to kill us. He's going to kill the 2 tables. Well, it's only a temporary death, just like they killed Messiah. It was a temporary death. We're going to talk more about that when we get into that. We did it in Revelation. We'll do it again. But not right now. They're going to rise from the dead. Let me just give you that part. They're going to rise from the dead, okay? There's no problem. No problem. Because like I told you, death cannot stop righteousness. Y'all need to believe. Y'all need to believe. Death cannot stop righteousness. Now, okay, I gave all that just to warm up. I gave you all of that as the warm up. Okay, y'all ready to get into the meat? Okay, we're getting into the meat right now. Let's get into the meat. That was all warm up. That was all warm up. Okay, watch now. Okay, so now let's break this down. Here's some, man, there's some powerful stuff. Okay, so listen. Zechariah, we talked about this. Zechariah was the prophet of the return. They were coming out of captivity and returning to the land. Okay, that was Zechariah. He was the prophet of their return to the land. All right? And he wasn't alone. I want to show you. First of all, Zechariah. What does that mean? Zechariah means Yah remembered. I want you to understand. Yah remembered. That's very important. He was a prophet that was called Yah remembered. What did he remember? He remembered that their captivity was going to be for 70 years. He remembered that at the end of that 70 years, he's going to bring them back. He remembered who his people are. He does not forget who his people are. He remembers his promises. He does not forget his promises. He remembered his covenant. He does not forget his covenant. Yah remembered. Zechariah. Okay, everybody got me so far? Testing 1, 2, 3. Zechariah. Okay, all right. Let's go to Ezra chapter 5. Last night I kept opening up to Haggai. I kept opening. See, this is all, there's no such thing as coincidence. And I am praising Yah. There's no such thing as coincidence. Why do I keep opening up to Haggai? I did it last night a few times. Why? It was no accident. Most High wants me to read Haggai also, because Haggai was also a prophet at the same time. So let's take a look at this. Ezra chapter 5. I'm getting ready to show you something, man. Ezra chapter 5. Let's read verse 1 and 2. Watch closely now. You know you got to watch closely. Ezra chapter 5, verse 1 and 2. I'm not trying to play like a card game with y'all, but I'm just telling you, watch closely so you don't miss anything, okay? Then the prophets, Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, the son of Iddo, prophesy unto the Israelites that were in Judah and Jerusalem in the name of the Most High of Israel, even unto them. Then rose up Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Yeshua, the son of Jehozadak, which began to build the house of Yah, which is at Jerusalem. With them were the prophets of Yah helping them. Okay, wait. So, the Most High calls his prophets to rise. Now, Haggai, you know what Haggai means? Any of y'all? Haggai means a sacred festival. Haggai means a sacred festival. Okay, y'all got that so far? Haggai is a sacred festival. Okay, that's Haggai, a sacred festival. So what do we got so far? We got Haggai means a sacred festival. Okay, we got Zechariah means Yah remembered. Okay, so what? Yah remembered a sacred festival. So far, so good, right? Yah remembered a sacred festival. Okay, I'm looking up Zerubbabel right now. Yah remembered a sacred festival. Everybody got that so far? I want to tell you, no such thing as accidental now. Yah remembered a sacred festival. Zerubbabel, okay? Zerubbabel also was there as a prophet. Yah remembered. Zerubbabel actually was a governor at that time. He was a governor. But Yah remembered a sacred festival. Zerubbabel means, oh shoot. Zerubbabel means, wait. It's from the root word that means to flow, to flow, to flow, to flow away, to wax warm. To flow is from the root word zarab, which means to flow. Okay, to flow. 22:15 is the root. To flow. And it's another word, bell. Wait a minute, 894. Let me look up that too. Wait a minute, because this is all going to come together. To flow, and it means to wait. You ready? It means to flow from confusion. To flow from confusion. Y'all remember a sacred flesh festival to flow from confusion. Wait a minute. We already know what Joshua means. Joshua is the word for YHWH, which means Yah exists to save. Yah remembered a sacred festival to flow from confusion because Yah exists to save. And YHWH, or Joshua, was the son of Yahweh Sadak, which means YHWH, Yah exists to save, the son of, listen carefully, Yah's righteousness. So Yah remembered a sacred festival to flow from confusion because Yah exists to save is the son of Yah's righteousness. And these were the people that were called for the Israelites to go back into the land. Yah remembered a sacred festival to flow from confusion to Yah exists to save. Okay? These were the men that were called from among the Israelites to bring the people back and awaken them. And this is Zechariah, and this is also Haggai, the sacred festival, Zerubbabel, which is to flow from confusion. So what are we doing? We're leaving the kingdom of confusion. We're flowing back to the land. And we're coming under the guise of the high priest, Yah exists to save, who is the son of Yah's righteousness. Messiah, we understand quite clearly that our Messiah, the Hebrew Messiah, is the son of Yah's righteousness. Yah is the God that only showed himself to the Israelite people. And he showed himself only to them and to our fathers, and he gave only them his covenant. And he gave it to them, and through his grace, which is Yah exists to save. And Yah exists to save is a representation of Yah's righteousness. That's why we say Messiah can be called the rock as the Father is the rock, because Messiah is a representation of the Father. Messiah is not the Father, but he's the son of Yah's righteousness. Isn't that, brothers and sisters, are we getting powerful? Are we not? Are we getting into something deep? Are we not? I mean, look, this is all very meaningful to us because this is us right here. This is where we at right here. Like I said, not only was he doing that for them then in the rebuilding of the second temple, but he's also doing it for us as we're about to enter into the kingdom. We're about to enter into Messiah's kingdom. It's about that time. We're coming into the time. And all we're doing right now is we're being prepared for the kingdom, being prepared for Yah's kingdom. That's what we're going on right now. We're being prepared for his kingdom. Praise his name. We're being prepared. As our fathers were being prepared during their 40-year journey from Egypt to the promised land, so now we are being prepared. We're being prepared to meet Messiah in peace, because as we said, he's not coming as a calm, cool, peaceful Messiah. He's coming to make war in righteousness. He's coming to overthrow. Remember what we read earlier in the seventh trumpet? He said the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Most High and of his Messiah, right? We read that earlier, right? And what does that mean? That means the kingdoms of this world are about to be overthrown. He's going to overthrow all the governments of this world, and there's nothing they could do to stop it. Now, they're going to try to stop it. Remember what the Bible says in Revelation 19, that the beast, he saw the beast and the prophet and the false prophet gathered together their armies against him that sat upon a horse. That's what's going to happen. We're going to see it right now. Brothers and sisters, all the places that we're seeing right now, you're seeing the United Nations right now. You're seeing the Pope right now. You're seeing the government of the United States right now. You're seeing all these things right now, brothers and sisters. All of the things you're seeing, you're going to see all of these peoples. You're going to see all of these populations. You're going to see all of these governments try to fight against our Messiah, and they're going to be destroyed. We're not going to have any guns. We're not going to have any weapons of war, not at first. Messiah gonna come though. And the only sword he needs is the one that comes out of his mouth. Because he has learned, listen carefully, he's learned from his father. His father speaks and it happens. Messiah speaks and it happens. That's all we need. That's why his word is the most powerful thing. He speaks and it happens. See, brothers and sisters, they can put chains on you, right? They put the chains on your 2 wrists. They put the chains around your waist. They put the chains on your 2 ankles. And then they chain you to 2 guards that are walking on each of the side of you, right? They got you chained and they dragging you along. If Father say, looser, all them chains drop off. You know, that's what happened. We've already seen it in the word. See, we just have to believe the word. The word, Peter was chained up to 16 soldiers. Angel came in there, chain drop off. Peter got up, walked out. Because his word is the most powerful thing in the universe. There's nothing in this universe more powerful than the Father's word. And he has given that power to his grace Messiah. His word is above all. So if we're taken away in chains and the chains don't drop off, we know it's the Father's will. We just relax. Like Peter, when Peter got delivered that day, the angel had to wake him up. If you notice, when he came into that cell with them 16 soldiers guarding him, the angel had to wake him up. Why did he have to wake him up? Brother wasn't scared. Brother wasn't scared. Brother wasn't sitting up there saying, oh, please deliver me, Father. I don't want to be here. Please deliver me. He wasn't, he was asleep. How did he learn that? From Messiah. Messiah laid in the boat. Disciples were shaking the master. You see, we getting ready to drown up in here. Wiped his eyes. You stretch a little bit. Rose up. Peace be still. Whole thing stopped. Peace be still. Whole thing stopped. See? We are serving the most powerful entity in this universe. The origin of everything that exists is who we serve. We need to remember that. Don't forget that, brothers and sisters. Okay, please. The stronger we could get in that faith, the more powerful we become. And he's going to have a people that's going to march and step in that. I just want us to all be among it. Praise the Most High Yah. The heathen not going to have that. All these false churches, you can't get that in the SDA church. You will not get that in the SDA church. You will not get it in the Jehovah's Witness church. You will not get it in the Mormon church. You will not get it in the Catholic church. You will not get it with Islam. You will not get it with any religion. You could only get it from the origin, the creator. So he sent Haggai, the festival, because he remembered Zechariah. Haggai, he remembered the festival to cause his people to flow from confusion. And he sent them under the power of Yah exists to save, who is the son of Yah's righteousness. Praise Yah. He's going to do the same thing. Praise Yah. Okay. That brings us, I had to warm y'all up, right? I mean, y'all understand. I know y'all understand. I'm not worried about y'all. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. I'm not worried about y'all. Y'all get it. Praise Yah. So let's look. We're going to finish this section right here with Haggai. We're going to look at Haggai's prophecy. Haggai right next to Zechariah. How fitting is that? Zechariah and Haggai right next to each other. So let's look at Haggai. Now, I just want y'all to remember now, last night we studied Daniel. We looked at Daniel a little bit today, but you remember we looked at Daniel chapter 9, and you recall Daniel was shown that they would rebuild the temple, right? And that in that 490-year period, Messiah was going to appear the first time, and that they were going to end up killing Messiah, and that their temple that they rebuilt was going to end up being destroyed. Remember that as we're studying Haggai. Okay, that's important as we're looking at Haggai. And then we're going to take a break after we study Haggai. We're going to take a little break here. Well, let's read through this. Haggai is very short. Haggai is only 2 chapters, really. They divided this it's an epistle, really. It's a prophecy that's an epistle divided into 2 sections. Chapter 1, chapter 2. So let's look at Haggai chapter 1. Let's read from verse 1. And the theme in Haggai is this: consider your ways. That consider your ways is another way of saying, look at yourself honestly and repent. That's what consider your ways. He's going to say that a few times in Haggai. That seems to be the theme. Consider your ways, Israelites. Consider your ways. In other words, look at yourself honestly and repent. Haggai chapter 1. I'm going to read from verse 1 down to verse 15. I'm going to take my time, read it slow. It's only 2 chapters from verse 1 to verse 15. Notice what it says. Same time as Zechariah. In the 2nd year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, in the 1st day of the month, came the word of Yahweh by Haggai the prophet unto Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, the governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Yahwasadok, the high priest, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, saying, this people say, the time is not come, the time that Yahweh's house should be built. Then came the word of Yahweh by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. See, you in your enemy's land. I'm not blessing you in your enemy's land. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build a house, and I will take pleasure in it, and I will be glorified, saith Yahweh. You looked for much, and lo, it came to little. And when you brought it home, I did blow upon it. Why? Saith Yahweh of hosts. Because my house, that is waste, and ye run every man into his own house. Therefore, the heaven over you is stayed from dew, and the earth is stayed from her fruit. And I called for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth, and upon man, and upon cattle, and upon all the labor of the hands. Then Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jehoshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, with all the remnant of the people, obeyed the voice of Yahweh their Most High, and the words of Haggai the prophet, as Yahweh their Most High had sent him. And the people did fear before Yahweh. Then spake Haggai, Yahweh's messenger, in Yahweh's message unto the people, saying, I am with you, saith Yahweh. And Yahweh stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, the governor of Judah, and the spirit of Jehoshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, the spirit of all the remnant of the people, and they came and did work in the house of Yahweh of hosts, their Most High, in the 24th day of the 6th month, in the 2nd year of Darius the king. You see what happened? They were like, oh no, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. Then when they were not sure that it was time, when they were doubting there was time, the Most High raised up his prophets. His message said Yahweh's messenger. Right? He raised up Yahweh's messenger, Haggai, Yahweh's messenger, time of sacred festival, time of sacred festival, time for y'all to go back to the land, because you can only keep the sacred festival in the land. Y'all hear me, right? You could only keep the sacred festival in the land. So he rose up Haggai, time of the sacred festival. And he rose up Zechariah because he remembered. It's time for the sacred festival, time for your return to the land. You cannot keep Yahweh's festival in a foreign land. So he said, listen, I'm raising up Haggai. I want y'all sitting up here and y'all wonder why you can't get ahead. Wait a minute, does that sound familiar? Israelites can't get ahead in their enemy's land. He said, why? Because I put the wages in a bag full of holes. This is not your place. This is not your land. It's time for y'all to get ready for the real land and to keep the sacred festival. See? And then what happened? Bible said they obeyed. They obeyed. See? I'm praising y'all because this is where we are right now. See, right now he's raising up his messengers to tell us it's time. It's time for us to enter into the kingdom. And no, we can't go over to Israel right now. No. But what we need to do is put on the spirit of the Father. We need to wear that robe of righteousness. We need to be ready. We need to be bold, and we need to overcome our fear. We need to overcome fear. It's time, isn't it? It's time. He said, y'all remember, time for us to keep the sacred festival in the land under the guise of the high priest Yah exists to save, who is the son of Yah's righteousness. It's time. We are now under the guise of a high priest, YHWH. Yah exists to save. We are now, right now, under the guise of him who is in the most holy place of the third heaven. He's there for us right now. Yah exists to save. He's the son of Yah's righteousness. Praise Yah. It's time, isn't it? It's time. It's time. You see, brothers and sisters, we're not awakening to this by accident. No such thing as accident, man. Let's read this last part before we take the break. Now, second chapter. Let's start off. Let's read from verse 1 down to verse 10 to start us off, from verse 1 to 10. In the 7th month, in the 21st day of the month, came the word of Yahweh by the prophet Haggai, saying, speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, the governor of Judah, and to YHWH, the son of Yahweh-Sadak, the high priest, to the residue of the people, saying, who is left among you that saw this house in her first glory? How do ye see it now? Is it not in your eyes in comparison of it as nothing? Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, flowing from confusion, saith Yahweh. Be strong, O Joshua, YHWH, Yah exists to save, the son of Yah's righteousness, the high priest. And be strong, O ye people of the land, saith Yahweh, and work, for I am with you, saith Yahweh of hosts. According to the word that I covenanted with you when ye came out of Egypt, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. Okay, the desire of all nations shall come. We're going to talk about that in a second. And I will fill this house with glory, saith Yahweh of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith Yahweh of hosts. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than the former, saith Yahweh of hosts. In this place will I give peace, saith Yahweh of hosts. In the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of Yahweh by Haggai the prophet, saying, so wait, how is it that this temple, this second temple, was going to be greater than the first one? And who is this desire of all nations that's going to come? See, brothers and sisters, we already read in Daniel. Remember, he told Daniel, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people to make an end of sin, to finish iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, and what? Anoint the most holy. Because Messiah himself, the son of the Father's righteousness, was going to physically set foot in the second temple. And because of that alone, just because of that, the second temple would be greater than the first temple. Okay? Because the Father honors his son. That's what we need to understand, how much the Father honors his son. And he said, I'm bringing forth the desire of all nations. In other words, see, listen carefully now. Messiah was born of a woman. When he was manifest as the Father's son in the flesh, he was born of a woman. Testing 1, 2, 3. See, the earthly pagans make a big deal of the woman. Father doesn't make a big deal of the woman. Now, he going to honor Miriam now, no question now, but she's no goddess. Let's not get trippy like the pagans do and make a goddess out of her. That's paganism. No, but the point is, he was born of a woman. Listen carefully. There has never been before, and there will never be after anything come of a woman on this earth equal to Messiah. You hear what I said? That is why he is the desire of all nations. There was never, and there never will be, anything on this earth born of a woman on the same level as Messiah. Ever. You understand? That's why he said the second temple is more glorious than the first one. Because Messiah himself, my son that I'm bringing forth, the son of perfect righteousness coming forth. And when he come forth in the flesh, I'm going to have him walk in that temple. And when he walk in that temple, his very existence there honors the temple. That's why Messiah said, which is greater, the temple or him that honored the temple? 21st day of the month, that's right. See that? Praise Yah. That's during the Feast of Tabernacle. 7th month, 21st day of the month. That's the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles. Praise the next. See what I'm saying? There you go. There you go. There you go. 15th day of the 7th month, first day of the Feast of the Tabernacle. It lasts 8 days. 21st day of the month is in the midst of the Feast of the Tabernacle. Praise Yah. No coincidence. No coincidence. Brothers and sisters, should we not be praising the Creator for all that he's showing us? Should we not be giving him the praise, the honor, and the glory for all that he's showing us from these words written on a page thousands of years ago that he's brought to this time? At this time, the stars have aligned for us to get this word at this time, in this place, for us to know who we are. I mean, brothers and sisters, we just got to praise him. We just got to praise him for that. We just got to praise him. So he said this. Now, that's why we got to look at this in the totality. So even though the second temple was going to be greater because Messiah himself, who is the desire of all nations, capital D, Messiah himself was going to walk in there. That same temple now was going to be destroyed. Okay. That's why we don't want to worship like the temple is going to be eternally sacred, right? Because it was going to be destroyed. Okay. Right? But it was going to be honored with the presence of the Son of Yahweh's righteousness. Okay? Everybody got that? And so, we praise Yah. Even though the Most High knows who's going to be saved and who's not going to be saved, he puts forth 100% effort to save everybody. And so even though he knew already, he had prophesied through Daniel that they were going to reject Messiah, he was putting forth all the effort to get them ready to receive Messiah. You see that? So he's telling them, the desire of all nations has come. I'm bringing my son. I'm going to make this second temple very holy, even more than the first one. And he's showing them and he's trying to get them ready. You got 5 centuries, almost 5 whole centuries to get yourself ready. And I want you to get ready because my son is coming. The son of righteousness is going to come. See, he's getting them ready. And brothers and sisters, that was 5 centuries worth of preparation. 5 centuries, 490 years worth of preparation. And here we are, brothers and sisters, we are in the last, we're in the last decade of this thing. Isn't that right? We're in the last little more than a decade of this thing. The jig is up now, right? The jig is up. It's up. Right? We're in the last, like I said, 2027 is the Jubilee. 3.5 years later brings us to 2031. 3.5 years after that brings us to 2034. And this is going to be long gone over before that. We ain't got that much time left. I'm telling y'all, we ain't going past that. And I'm not the only one going to be prophesying like that. I'm not the only one. I'm not. It's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 144,000 witnesses. We coming to the time. It's coming, brothers and sisters. Coming to the time. Okay? He gave them 5 centuries. We only got a few years. But see, we also got more concentration of his spirit coming on us now. It's not, the preparation is not for us. It's from him. It's just for us to allow him to prepare us. The preparation is of the Father. His word is going to come to pass. Only thing come from us is, are you willing to be sincere and honest with him? Are you willing to just cast off all your fear? Are you willing to walk through darkness with him? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to let his light cause you to walk through darkness? Because that's what it's going to take. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. For thou art with me, right? You ready for that? Because when you're ready for that, you're ready. Okay, because that's where we coming, brothers and sisters. That's when we coming. Okay, let's continue. Let's read from verse 11 down to verse 23. Haggai chapter 2. See how this all goes together? Haggai chapter 2 so now when we come back and we go into Zechariah, y'all know what we're doing with, right? Haggai chapter 2 from verse 11 to verse 23. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, ask now the priest concerning the law, saying, if one, watch this now, Ask now the priest concerning the law, saying, if one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, talking about a priest, and with his skirt do touch bread or pottage or wine or oil or any meat, shall it be holy? And the priest answered and said, no. Then said Haggai, if one that is unclean by a dead body touch any of these, shall it be unclean? And the priest answered and said, it shall be unclean. Then answered Haggai and said, so is this people, so is this nation before me, saith Yahweh. So is every work of their hands, and that which they offer, there is unclean. Now, stop right here for a second. This is I'm going to stop at verse 14 for a second. What is he saying here? Listen, brothers and sisters, listen carefully to me, okay? Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. I want to make sure we're almost done. I know we've been going for a while. I know you're tired, but you got to hang out with me because this is important, okay? Hang out with me for a few minutes, okay? I'm trying to feed y'all this food here that the Most High has brought for me to give y'all out the oven fresh, okay? Listen. We don't know how to speak proper Hebrew. We don't know how to say the Most High's name properly. We don't know how to keep the Sabbath properly. We don't know how to keep feasts properly. We don't know nothing. It's unclean. Okay? But with a sincere heart and a heart that's yielded to obedience of his spirit, he accepts us. That's what he's saying here. He's telling through Haggai, he's saying, y'all don't even know how. He said, if you had a priest and you had holy flesh that is sanctified for the altar, and that flesh touches anything unclean is unclean. Okay? He said, if you are set apart as a priest and you touch a dead party, you're unclean. And he said that represents the whole nation, but I'm still accepting you. You're unclean. You're ignorant. You have lost all that I've taught you, but I'm accepting you and I'm willing to bring you back to where you fell from. That's what he's saying. Okay? This whole nation, he said, is unclean. Brothers and sisters, that's where we at right now. We coming out of Christianity. We coming out of paganism, and we're unlearning a lot of things. And he's teaching us even more things, and we got so much more to learn. But don't worry. Even though we are unclean, he's going to receive us because we're sincere and willing, and his spirit of righteousness will sanctify us. Not because we ourselves in our flesh is clean, but because his spirit makes us clean. Okay? That's why. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. That's why when Messiah was cleaning the feet of the disciples, and he said, and then Peter said, well, clean my whole body, just not my feet. I want to be all clean for you. He said, all I need to do is clean your feet, and you're completely, he said, you're every whit clean. All I need to do is clean your feet, and you're every whit clean. It was a spiritual transaction. It wasn't just a physical cleaning of the feet. It was a spiritual transaction. Messiah said, I'm putting my hands on you. I'm putting my cleansing power of righteousness on you, and you're clean. Every one of you except one. And he knew that was Judas. Why? Because though Messiah put his hands on Judas, because Judas's heart was insincere, because Judas was corrupt, because Judas was about getting his, right? Judas was all about getting his. Messiah couldn't do nothing for him. Couldn't do nothing for him. Couldn't do nothing for him. He was about getting for him. He was about going for self. You can't be in Messiah's kingdom going for self. When you're in Messiah's kingdom, you're going for the Father. All in for the Father. All in for the Father. Glory to the Father. When you're in Messiah's kingdom. Judas was not ready. Judas was all in for self. That's why even though Messiah washed his nasty feet, put his holy hands on that nasty man, couldn't do nothing for him. Couldn't do nothing for him. We're going to see that coming right now. It's already happening. Father's spirit is coming on us, brothers and sisters. Believe it right now as I'm speaking to you, even before this, Father's spirit is coming on you. It's coming on you. Those of you that are sincere and honest and truthful and want to serve the Father, his spirit is sealing you. He's putting more and more of his self upon you. But there's others, his spirit is being rejected because they're going for self, because they're all in for self. You can't be all in for self and all in for Yah at the same time. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve money in Yah, and you can't serve self in Yah. Notice again. Let's continue now from verse 15. From verse 15 down to verse 23. And now I pray you consider from this day and upward, from before a stone was laid upon a stone in the temple of Yahweh. Since those days were when one came to an heap of 20 measures, there were but 10. When one came to a press fat for to draw out 50 vessels out of the press, there were but 20. I smote you with blasting, and with mildew, and with hail, in all the labors of your hand. Yet ye turn not to me, saith Yahweh. Consider now, from this day and upward, from the 24th day of the 9th month, even from the day that the foundation of Yahweh's temple was laid, consider it. Is the seed yet in the barn? Yea, as yet the vine and the fig tree and the pomegranate and the olive tree have not brought forth. From this day will I bless you. And again, the word of the Yahweh came unto Haggai in the 24th day of the month, saying, Speak unto Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow. See, I didn't make that up. He said, and I will overthrow the thrones of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. In that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, I will take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith Yahweh, and I will make thee as a signet, for I have chosen thee, saith Yahweh of hosts. See, I will take thee, those that are flowing from confusion, and I'm going to overthrow all the kingdoms of the heathen. You're going to be a sign, a signet, a seal, a sign. You're going to be that. Here we are, brothers and sisters. See, Haggai was not only prophesying of the rebuilding of the second temple, but obviously he was prophesying of the return of Messiah and the kingdom, which is where we live. This is where you and I are right now. Praise Yah. Okay, let's have a word of prayer. We'll stop here. We're going to take a break and we'll come back. Most High Yahweh, we give you the praise, the honor, and the glory. We don't deserve the least of your mercies, but we praise you because without you, we must die. Therefore, we offer praise and honor and glory in your spirit to your holy name, and ask that you continue to work in us the thing that is good, that in all things, your name, and your name alone, Yah, through your grace, YHWH, might be exalted. In Messiah's name we pray. Amen. Praise the Most High Yahweh.